Sorry, I said good morning.
Oh yeah. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Jeannie, Jessica is the broker over at Stellar Living. They're you're out of the Bethesda office now, right, Jessica?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
No.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how
Welcome,
are
welcome.
you? So you're growing the
Good.
brand?
Yeah,
What?
she had shortly after us, she had the office over there.
Okay.
Initially, they were in Gaithersburg. She's moved to Bethesda, her office in Bethesda. So, yeah, they've got quite a few agents. How many agents do
Okay.
you guys have, Jessica?
We're at 18 active agents right now.
Yeah,
What are we at, Greg?
about 39.
It's because you're awesome.
Yeah, we had a good month of recruiting. That's part of my goals. Talking about my goals, my big goals. So I'll get us started. I got us recorded. Oh, by the way, Jeannie, you got a letter today, so I'll put it in
I
your
did.
mailbox. Yeah.
Does it look like it's from somebody scary?
No, no. It looks like it's a Christmas or some kind of card. Claude Labe.
Okay. This is a BNI agent in the Beltway area, so that's
Oh,
sweet. Okay. I need to reach out to him.
good deal. All right. Well, I'll get us started. I apologize for having to miss last week, but we got this week and then one more week for our finish. So this week, I think, is really kind of a lot of the meat and potatoes of this because it's sustainability and relationships, and I think this is where we kind of sort of win or lose in the trenches when we start setting our goals and getting to the actual implementation of everything. So I made some notes. I'll screen share here. Let Marie on while I do that. Hey, Marie, welcome. We're just getting started. So I'm going to pop in here and screen share real quick and just go over some of my notes. Week 4, yeah. All right, sustainability and relationships. It's chapters 7 and 8 really is what we're kind of covering here. And then obviously ties in a little bit to where we were from chapter 6 too. So avoiding burnout, and happens a lot. Obviously, if once you get into sort of the rhythm of your goal setting, avoiding burnout. Many people set ambitious goals but fail to sustain them. The building key to avoiding that is building systems and habits. And so it's really all about habits. We know we talked a little bit about how this ties in and dovetails a little bit with let's say if you have some fitness goals. I mean, the only way to achieve a fitness goal, and it just makes more sense, is obviously if you time block like the time for the gym, or if you're training for a road race, you're going to put some time in as far as your running time and that kind of thing, and then you have fitness and nutritional goals. So it's the same thing. You need to figure out a way, and business is the same thing. It's just a little bit different dynamic. We have to figure out how to implement these habits, right? This cadence of accountability and how we can leverage systems and or people to help us really maintain these habits of success habits. Uh, Atomic Habits is a great book for that kind of thing, and really drilling down and compartmentalizing and figuring out how to time chunk and time block. But that ties into time blocking and consistency, as in real estate. I'm just reading some of my notes. Sustainability requires structured effort. Are you scheduling time for your key activities, lead generation, networking, learning? We talked pretty at length before about how, like, I leverage my calendar as an accountability partner, almost like a personal assistant. Whatever you're using, whatever system or model you're using, I think that's paramount to having our success when we're implementing our learning or performance goals. So tracking progress and adjusting. Again, this is why it's important to have that sort of business person, the accountability partner, so that they can help you along the way when you're evaluating where you're at on your goals. That cadence of accountability, doing regular reviews, what's working, what's not working, if you need to course correct. Predictable models lead to sustainability. So, how's everything going with implementing what you have going on? Maria, I know you had quite a few changes to your business model, and you were working on a lot of ancillary things. So have you? And I guess I wanted to. This will be a good platform or place to say it. Like, super impressed with all the things that you're doing with the book, your new buyers and sellers presentations. But now that you have sort of that collateral, that marketing collateral, and those marketing tools, how are you implementing that into your business practice, or how are you putting that in front of the consumer so that they can see how much expertise, effort that you've put into your business, and how is that relating to how you're implementing that as far as your lead?
Well, this is, can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, good, because I can see me up on the screen. So I'm waiting for the physical books to come, but I did put it out on social media. It's like, like the book says, one step forward, two steps back. So I think there's a problem with my Instagram. I never really understood Instagram. So one of my goals today is to review my account and make sure it's set up properly, and also to make sure that I get it on my personal accounts as well, not just my business accounts.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a big goal. And we're getting ready to send emails to all the neighbors, letting them know that we are realtors, we are the neighborhood realtor, and what we bring to the table, that if someone does decide they have a question or a comment or whatever about the market, we're the resource person. And if they do decide to move for whatever reason, that we have a game plan that they get the highest value for their home. And that's been a problem in my neighborhood. There's a realtor kind of, she's been around a long time, but what she does is she has a buyer hanging in the wings, and then she talks to the seller, and the seller takes the first offer. And I don't, and that's not really what and it's been kind of shown that that was a lower value than they probably could have gotten. So, we can't say that in a letter, but basically that our goal is to get the highest value for their homes. And some people are starting to wake up. I went to a ladies' lunch last week, and I just presented myself as a realtor. I didn't push anything, didn't suggest anything. And one woman said to me, this house sold fairly quickly, and so sold it. And I wonder if she had a buyer. And it seems that the houses aren't selling as much as we would think. So people are catching on.
Yeah.
So anyway, hopefully this letter will do some good. If nothing else, just put us, and we said, if you want to disengage, that's fine. But we want to send out monthly newsletters and keep you apprised of what's going on in the marketplace as well as the neighborhood. So
Yeah.
that's the step that we're doing today.
That's perfect. Yeah, make sure that they know that you've put together that book or whatever.
Yes, I mentioned the book.
Good.
That they
Because that's
could
going
have
to
a free copy.
that's going to set you apart.
Yeah.
And I think the more sort of Chamber of Commerce events that you could go to, BNI networking, if that's something that you can get involved in, or any
Right.
sort of in-person networking, when you don't have to hard sell yourself when you have
Yeah.
all that collateral that you've done, because that sort of speaks for itself. So
Right.
as long as the key I think for you is just get that information out in front of as many people as possible, and then the
Mhm.
conversations will start happening.
Right.
Good job.
Thanks.
Yeah. So again, I'm going to talk a little bit. I'll share some of my goals in a minute, but what one of the discussion questions I have you ever started strong on a goal but struggled to maintain it, and then what was missing? And then for me, it was sort of the accountability piece. So I can even give a perfect example. Went back to the gym, started working out pretty regularly this year, and then two things. We had that big snow, and I got super sick for a week. So I was out for a week with the flu, and I had a trip to DC, like in the middle of there, for some advocacy work. But that's that 1 week that I got outside of my routine, and now it's been a struggle to get back in it. And I've been, I went 2 days ago to the gym. I should have gone last night, but I ended up going to 2 networking events. But tonight I'm going to go back to the gym, and it's just like I don't know if it's the older I get or whatever it is, but it's just harder to stay in that routine when it comes to stuff like that.
Especially at night when it's dark and cold.
Yes.
Like
For
I
sure.
find if I'm gonna go, I have to go first thing in the morning. I have an 8 a.m. Pilates class, and I can hit that. Like my phones, as we all know, really don't start to ring until 8:30 or 9-ish,
Yeah.
right? So I can at least squeeze that in and have that checked off. Where are you going, Greg?
Just Planet Fitness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for
But
you.
yeah. But it's true, and it certainly doesn't help. Like when you come out of the gym and you're kind of sweaty, getting into 20 degrees outside, it does
Yeah.
make it harder. But you're right. Like our willpower and you'll use up willpower throughout the day, right? Like our willpower is typically the strongest first thing in the morning. So
Yeah.
it's important to like tackle those big rocks first thing in the morning. Because like last night, I had a choice, and I was like, well, I'll go to this networking event where they're going to have maybe wine and some snacks, or I'll go to the gym. I chose the networking event with wine and snacks. But it just becomes harder. And then, like, to your point, like early in the morning, you're not as bombarded with all those distractions. And in the book, Four Disciplines of Execution, they talk about it's not the big dragons that get in your way, the big obstacles. It's like this, it's like gnats, a bunch of gnats that get in your way throughout the day. And that's totally true. So I do find it's easier for me to get on the treadmill in the morning than per se waiting to do it at night in the gym. And I've been doing that a little bit better because I just have that at my house. But yeah, I'll get back into it.
Mentally and physically exhausted after 3 or 4.
Yeah, for
Right?
sure.
So I can understand all that, Greg.
Yeah.
And I think too, for me, I have terrible insomnia. I'll go 2, 3 days where I'm up at 3, 4, 5, can't get back to sleep. So the third or fourth night, I really sleep. So last night I had a full night's sleep. So now I'm ready to roll. But
Yeah.
if I'm operating on a deficit by 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm dragging, and then my concentration goes down. So your
Patience.
physical, like as you mentioned, Greg, being ill, that you were really dragging. You probably didn't accomplish everything that you wanted because you were sick, right? Your
Yeah.
body's telling you it's time to heal. And I don't know what I'm going to do about this insomnia. I mean, I've tried just about everything, I think. But
Well, I'm the king of insomnia. I was on like Ambien for over 10 years. I'm finally kind of off of that. But for me, I can tell you what's helped me is I have a very structured, regimented routine at night when I go to bed. Like I've got so many things in place. So that's helped a lot, is really just
Okay.
having a good routine for,
Uh-huh.
checking out. And another good thing is to do sort of a brain dump. Like at the end of the night, I look at my calendar for the next day, and I make
Mhm.
sure I sort of understand everything that I'm going. It might sound counterintuitive, but at least I know, like, all right, I've got these 3 big things I got to tackle tomorrow. It's in my head, it's on my calendar. I don't have to worry about it anymore. And anything pressing, like my emails that come through,
Mhm.
if I don't have to deal with them right away, I just kind of use that snooze function on my inbox and snooze it to 8 a.m. the next day. Like my routine is when I get into the office at 8 a.m., all the emails from the past day or the past week that I've snoozed until that day pop up. So that's part of my morning routine, is to go through those 8 a.m. emails, and then I start building out my daily to-do or success list. And that's helpful for me. Having a routine is helpful when it comes to both
Yes.
sleep, getting better sleep, and then being more productive. Yeah, and then like I said, for me, what was missing, it's usually the accountability portion of it, which is why sometimes if I'm setting goals and they die on the vine, it's because I haven't sustained that accountability piece. And my next follow-up question would be, what systems or habits could you implement to make your goals more sustainable? I think Jeannie you made a really good point. It's to be sort of self-aware of who you are as a person too, right? Like, you're going to be better doing those classes in the morning than at night. There's some people, if they have young kids and they've got a whirlwind of activities getting their kids out the door in the morning, maybe that's not in the books for them, but they know they have sort of their mom time at night, and they can check out and maybe go to like Bar Forward or one of the other classes, and that's their routine. But sort of knowing who you are having that self-awareness is definitely helpful.
Mhm.
going to our industry, like for me, and I have to repeat this, I had a ankle reconstruction last year. And so I was non-weight bearing in a boot for 8 weeks. And saying it and living that are two different things. If you've ever had to be non-weight bearing, like my husband had to carry me places. Luckily he can. And so what I started to learn was that our clients will bully our time or make you feel bad about time that is your time. And I'm going back to the self-care, my gym time. So I've always gone to the gym. It's more recently just been Pilates because of an injury. And I know I can sustain that through the end, right? I've learned that I refer to that now as my PT. That's physical therapy because it absolutely is. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And it is respected. So if I just say, "Oh, I'm at the gym," you can get a pushback like, "Oh, well, we'll schedule." Like it's not respected, and it absolutely has to be. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? For
I
your
think that's
self
right.
care,
Well,
for
don't you think
mental,
also, Jean, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
not at all.
Don't you think, Jeannie, when you say I'm at the gym, people have this illusion of a lady of leisure. It's
Oh,
not really
yes.
important. Whereas if
Hmm.
it's physical therapy, it's like, oh my God, what's wrong with you?
Hmm.
Are
Yeah,
you
well, it is.
okay? What,
Yeah.
let us know when you can meet. Yeah.
Right? Then I
Because I
educate
had,
them on Pilates and why it was designed to put back the World War One soldier, so
right, right. I
Yeah.
had foot surgery, extensive. And, I thought, 6 weeks, I'll be up and now. It took me a year, no lie, this past June, I finally, because the nerves grow back so slowly and all my toes were operated on and it affected my ankle and, everything. Couldn't put shoes on. I couldn't weight bear, or it was variable. Sometimes I could stand and walk around the house and other times I could barely, hobble from the bed to a chair. And, it just went on and on and on like that. So finally, I couldn't wear shoes. I mean, have you ever tried to look for, an extra size and a wide in a woman? So you're paying $200 for ugly granny shoes. And
Yep.
finally, this past June, I came back, but I did use the year to brush up on learning, really deep dive into stuff. And
I
sometimes I
think
did feel
that's a
sorry for myself and to do.
right. I think that's an excellent segue because for my goals this year, um, part of the accountability has been this meeting for me. And um, expecting it to be yet again a little bit slow, although this shakeup with the federal government may actually pick things up for us. Not that
Yeah.
it's how we wanted it to, but
Yeah, unfortunately.
mine is to do the broker's course and just get that done. It's been years. I should have done it, but like Greg was saying, my stepson is 18 and driving now. He has been, whereas for the majority of my career, I provided transportation to and from school, which really narrows your, real effectiveness and work day.
That's such
I'm
a game
taking,
changer too. Like my youngest son just got his license. What a game changer.
Yes.
yeah. And, ultimately my income is the secondary income and I respect that. And I'm thankful and blessed. Um, Another thing that I'm taking your cue, Greg, I've been investigating, AI, assists or things that can take this overwhelm that is my database,
Yeah.
and help sort it and manage it and get it so that my goal is to drop a CMA or an intro pack, um, at, at a minimum one a week to in person, to help generate that. So those things there sound like two little things, but as you know, the ancillary
Yeah.
junk, you know what I mean, that goes on, the learning, the webinars, is this the right one? Does it have all these factors? Will
Right.
it zap? you know?
Sure. Well, you know,
Yeah.
and those little things will add up, right? The results will show up if you're consistent with them.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm super excited. I've got something planned for the brokerage. I'll probably open it up, you know, to outside people as well. But the person that I'm taking the class with the Chat GPT, we're going to schedule one of my. I typically I do like an hour class every Tuesday from 6 to 7. So I'm going to take one of those classes, and she's going to avail herself to the agents. And there's a thing in there where um, I can share the customized Chat GPTs that I'm putting together for marketing and other purposes with the agents, and then the agents can utilize that. And it's a database and resources of information I've already put in there that the agents will be able to use and leverage. So I'm excited, super excited about that. So stay tuned. I actually have that on my checklist right here to set up a time for her, and I'm putting together a class. And you'll see it on my goal sheet when we have it. It's tech trends for Y2K25. And years ago, when I had a company called My Creative Kiosk, it was a marketing company that was for realtors. We used to do tech trends for whatever the year was, and I'm going to get back to doing that. And I'm excited about hopefully bringing some of that information to the agents. So that'll be cool.
So I'm actually kind of glad that Jessica's here too. Greg, that resource that we have to help us with our network, because that's also a area that I've been full court pressing. Was it Live Simply or something? What was that? And I'm embarrassed. I know.
Simplify with JPAR.
Yes. How have if for both of you as brokers, have you seen anybody implement that and use it to its fullest degree, and
Yeah.
and how is that working? I hate to be the first one. You
Yeah.
know, I don't have a team or a VA to do
Yeah.
data entry.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk to you about that too offline, the VA thing. But two things. So I kind of put it out there, and I put it out there to my database. I had someone that I had sold a home to a few years ago reach out and connect with my lender partner on there. They didn't need. It was great because it all worked. It all connected the dots and did everything it was supposed to. It just she wasn't in a position where she could or needed to refi, but had she been, it would have all kind of fell into place. It was great because the lender partner got the contact from it. I now have it in my new email signature as sign up for our client concierge program. And then I also know, like talking to Marie and her husband John, they were going to use it. They're working on trying to get a listing that needs some loving, and they were going to share their branded Simplify with JPAR with the potential seller as a way to, because if it doesn't have anything in there, it does have access to a discounted Thumbtack where it's open to a bunch of different contractors. But it was more or less, hey, we have this resource if you need it for contractors, because there's probably like 6 or 7 different contractors he could use getting his house up to speed. But I was happy to see that you guys were implementing that, Marie.
Mhm.
Marie,
Well,
so
I have to tell you, Jeannie, with your thoughts of going and taking the broker course, this particular client that Greg is referring to, he's from out of state, and they use lawyers and brokers. So when I said something about, realtors, he goes, "You're not a broker?" I said, "Well, I understand, blah, blah, blah. They refer a broker, we're a realtor, blah, 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 blah." And he could not wrap his head around it. So I think that as a marketing tool, if nothing else, Jeannie, you'll be in a stronger position if you pursue that. Because
yes,
a lot
I've
of
known
people
that.
won't understand, but other people, it will mean a lot. So
Mhm.
I salute you. Go for it.
Thanks. And you are implementing the Live Simply?
Yeah, I just started. At the back of my book, I gave, basically, if you list with us, then, we'll be happy to give this, which stays with you long after the transaction ends. But I'm also going to implement it in emails and really promote it. That
Okay,
was
so
my,
but only after you're contracted. It's not open to the
well,
public.
that was my question, Greg. So like the people in my neighborhood, should I offer that?
Yeah.
Even though we don't have a relationship, just throw it out there and say, here, this is for you?
Yeah,
Are we
I
allowed?
would.
Okay,
Yeah, I would.
well,
Yeah, I just,
that's a game changer.
yeah, and
What's
Brandon,
Jessica's opinion? Jessica?
she's still with us. Hold on. Can you hear us, Jessica? You're on mute.
Sorry, what?
Well, they were talking about like I don't know if you've implemented it yet or not, like the white labeled version of Live Easy, Simplify with JPAR, like the contractor
No.
tie-in.
We've
We
been
haven't
discussing
implemented it yet. But we're supposed to do it in about 2 weeks.
Okay, so we don't have any agents over there? Okay. bummer.
Yeah, I'll find someone. I'll try and reach out. And tomorrow we have a franchise call, so I'll bring it up on the franchise call to see who's kind of implementing it at a higher level.
Well, this is good though, Marie, because I see the value in it both ways. It's kind of like a value added
Mhm.
privilege, right?
Yeah.
Then if I
Benefit.
just shoot it out there to everybody, then, even other agents can take advantage of that. And I've had people call me for my network,
Yeah.
but have another agent. My comment was, well, maybe you need to rethink your agent.
Yeah.
Good response.
Here's the real
Correct.
value. Here's the real value of it, how I see it, Jeannie. And we used to do, when I had a big team at KW, a lot of our business or our lead generation platform was built on this a business to business network that we had. And still have sort of Maryland Home Resource Network. It's out there. I don't use it as much being a broker as I did when I was an agent. But if you reach out to all that, like find a vendor that you love or go in search of, ask your friends and family, hey, I really need a good house cleaner for my client concierge program. Do you know anyone? And then so you start becoming that person that everyone thinks of as the air traffic controller, a dot connector. But you're able to, then people start looking to you as that resource. But then you reach out to this cleaning company, you say, hey, look, I have this client concierge person. I'd love for to put you in it. We'd love to market your services. I've heard good things about you. Now they start seeing you as that, sort of realtor of choice. You start to becoming more top of mind. And then you can ask them, hey, would you be open to offering like a 10% discount to my our consumer database, and we can put together a little piece of marketing material for you and feature you. We do a once a month vendor feature, that kind of thing. But then you start thinking of it on a high level like that, and it really becomes powerful because then your database starts to see you as this person that has all these vendor connections. The vendors start seeing you as a person that can connect them to a greater consumer population, and it just really becomes a win-win. And then you can offer the cleaning company has access to more potential clients. Your clients have access to a vetted vendor partner who does a good job and is going to offer them 10% discount because they're part of your network. So it's really a win-win-win.
I hope that wasn't a derail in your plan here today.
Oh yeah, no, that's awesome. But the hard part about that for me is just being able to stay focused and commit to doing it, and or have a system in place or a person that's going to help with that. But maybe so the next part of my notes here was the power of relationships in achieving goals. I've got the role of accountability partners. Studies show that having an accountability partner increases goal achievement by 65%, and that number jumps to 95% with regular check-ins. Surround yourself with the right people, whether in business or personal growth. The people you engage with daily shape your mindset and motivation. And that took me a lifetime to kind of really appreciate. But like your network, they have that saying, your network is your net worth. Like I really believe that more and more. And recently got my 16-year-old son an internship at a law firm, Liff Walsh Simmons. I know Brad Walsh really well. His brother Jay Walsh is the main principal at that firm, Terry Liff. But the things that I think it was my network that would avail that opportunity to him. And he's working 3 days a week there. And I just got a chance they do a monthly sales meeting via Zoom. So I got a chance to sort of listen in on that in the background while he was on it. He introduced himself. but they were talking about culture. They had him do a personality profile. They were talking about core values. I mean, like the lessons that he's learning just by that opportunity are invaluable. And that all came about because I've put in, several years of networking with them. So, that is amazing, right? Like, and that's, you start talking about your network, but and then if you've got these, and we want to set high achieving goals, like if you got these goals, go out and find someone that's already accomplished it, right? Success leaves clues. Interview them, ask them what they did to get to where they're at, and really, flatten that learning curve by surrounding yourself with the right people. I think it's a tremendous lesson.
Greg, you're right about, or to confirm your point about your network producing. So I've been in my BNI group now, this will be, I'm going on my 3rd year. And from within the group now, these last 2 years, as we know, it's been really difficult looking at the group each week, and really genuinely, things have been slow. There hasn't been people in their immediate sphere that hasn't had someone, you know what I mean? Like a fat, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And just this first season, I actually have one of my business partners, their son and fiance need a home, and then another one is actually selling their home. So from within, it took that 3 years, and that even one of those easily
Yeah.
replace that investment in that network. And it really had me pay attention to all my other networks. And what is a network? You know what I mean? Whether it's your church, your gym, your crowds that you're spending time in, right? And just to see, it's not going to happen overnight, like the gym itself. Like I have gained respect for my profession by earning respect for how I take care of myself, and I'm very focused, and it is like it's like another job. I approach it professionally, so it kind of, you know what I mean, goes beyond that, and that's starting to produce, you know what I mean, just and that's kind of a fun thing, I guess, Marie. I've never had that before. I've moved a number of times that I don't have like a history of relationships that so many are blessed with. You know what I mean? To have grown throughout the years and nurtured them through their kids' sports, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All those things.
Yeah, there's this concept of to your point a little bit, there's this concept of relationship equity, right? Like you have to invest in other people, and you build that relationship equity within those relationships, and then they feel, or sort of organically, the need for reciprocity to give back to you. If you're pouring into someone, they'll feel the need to, pour back into you or give back to you. So you have to remember too, it's a two-way street, right? You want to come from contribution, be of value in other people's lives, even if it's just being there, but giving them some things of value. And then there's nothing wrong with asking for help when you need it, if you're building your business or referrals, that kind of thing. People generally want to help people, right? I think sometimes we're afraid to ask for that little bit of help. But if you go out and you have relationships, whether it's like a church group, like you said, or a gym group, and you let them know what you're doing, and you just simply say, hey, if you know of anybody that could use my help, or I put together this book that for people to help them sell their homes. If you know anybody interested, let me know. There'll be some advocates within that group that will be proactive, that try and help you out. So that's great. I mean, I remember going back to the story with my son. The first interview he had for that, their HR person said, well, your dad has done a lot for the industry, so we're super to have you as part of the team. And that meant a lot to me, that they recognized that I was involved in the industry and I did some things, and I felt like it was nice to see that was appreciated. And then there was some reciprocity there where they gave my son an opportunity, probably because they knew who I was. So that was cool.
I'm glad they told him too, because sometimes the kids take parents for granted.
Yeah, yeah,
And deep down inside, he was really proud,
yeah, for
I'm
sure.
sure.
Yeah. So it made me feel good about that.
Yeah.
But if you're, if you're really pouring into other people, they'll feel the need to give back to you. Yeah. So one of my discussion questions was, have you ever had an accountability partner? How did it impact your progress? So I think, that's important. We can certainly see, I think, the benefits of having that person within our sphere helping us out and being accountable to our own goals. And that's the thing, right? These are goals that you set for yourself. So sometimes accountability gets a bad rap, but these are your own personal goals. And sometimes left to our own devices, we'll stray from what we need to do in order to achieve them, because we probably have this sort of ingrained desire to be safe and comfortable. And we've all heard the term, you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And then you have to have systems and or people in place to help you stay uncomfortable. Nobody wants to, well, few people probably do, especially once you build the habit, but no one wants to go to the gym on a cold, rainy night, necessarily. It might not be their favorite thing, but they have to know, there's this sacrifice yields certain rewards. So, and it helps to have someone help keep you accountable. Now I sort of have a thing where share what my goals are, your big ones, and share your big goals. So I'll put here's my 2025 goals on here. I've got my learning goals is mastering AI, incorporate AI into my React training program. That's my real estate accountability coaching and training. Something that I used to have when I was at Keller Williams. I'm going to relaunch that. Mastering AI video is something that there's a video that I'm watching and one that I'm going to produce. And then I'm a part of the Maryland Real Estate Educators Association, and I'm going to leverage that relationship to help put together my new syllabus for my training program. Learning goals, the legislative process, introduce a bill. We're talking to someone about introducing a housing bill. And then, of course, ongoing advocacy training that I'm involved with. I want to learn how to write and publish a book. Maybe I can lean into you a little bit, Marie, and what you just did. Increase my broker purview and presence within the industry. So those are some of my learning goals. Business goals, I have a recruiting goal for Maryland Living, a recruiting goal for my referral brokerage, teach tech trends for Y2K25, increase ancillary income for my business. And then I want to work on my Hill visit with my team and build out my script prior to that. Personal performance goals, this 5K that I'm doing, a health goal, and then write a book for my sons. And then the action items for some of those to get started, I'm time blocking accountability for all of these. I'm finding my person, plus finding my accountability. I have to schedule a lunch or coffee with Kathleen Connolly and Nick D'Ambrosio. These are two of my industry mentors. And
Is Nick
then,
D'Ambrosio real?
yeah. He's I was telling a story when I was at the advocacy training. I took him to dinner and we went to a cigar bar afterwards. So that was I told you I was going to find my person. So I found him. And
my first brokerage was Long and Foster. So that name,
yeah,
I just remember seeing it, and it's like just amazing to me that it's still there. So is he real?
Yeah. So I now know an awful lot about Nick and his life. It's amazing what you can uncover over a few whiskeys and a cigar. But
Things you don't even want to know.
Yeah, no, probably not. Some of them. Yeah, he's a good dude. So yeah.
And who's Kathy Connolly?
She used to be the real estate commissioner. People really respected her years and years ago, and then when she left, it all went to poop. So
when did she leave?
Gosh, that was probably 10 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
She's just been, so the new Scott Lederer, the new commissioner, is a prior broker, and it's good to have someone in that capacity again. And he just hired her back as a consultant. So
great.
Hopefully they'll turn things around. But yeah. So those are some of my personal
All right,
goals.
so are we supposed to spit ours out?
If you want to, yeah, sure. It's up to you.
Are you doing it too, Marie?
Well, I haven't gone into that much detail. I wrote out my financial goals, but I didn't write how to get them. It's kind of day by day. I write out my goals for the day, but not a long-term goal. So maybe I need to work on that.
Got to, but by next week.
Yeah, really.
It's usually.
So
I think it's, go
oh,
ahead,
sorry.
Jean. Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, I have mine here. I'm glad that yours were there were like so many. It wasn't like top three, but ultimately I
Yeah,
have a top three and I'll be happy, right?
yeah,
Like shoot here, get here. It's
right.
better than here.
Exactly, 100%.
Right? So for performance, I'm working on combining outreach and digital marketing. And basically I've put that under a tech stack. So that's what I'm working on now. Learning, I have AI tools, which also includes a tech stack. Do you know what I mean? Like that
Yeah,
they're almost similar, as you know, right, Greg?
sure.
That associate broker, and I'm wanting to learn the legislative process. So I've been doing that too, to understand like at what part of this are you, which is why I went on both those committees, our PAC and the legislative committee,
Yeah.
because it's a genuine interest. So if you're interested in something, it tends to be easier to do. It's not like you're slogging in there. Relationships, I've broken that down to personal and professional, because what I'm noticing, and you could probably agree, is if I focus too much on the professional, it's this balance. It's
Yeah.
okay, I've sacrificed this time, with family, friends, right? And this industry, one thing that's beautiful about it is the relationships. You enjoy helping the people and spending time and helping them through this. But the reality is most of those relationships are going to go away. And then there you are. So what have I done to nurture those that have been with me, whether it's friendships or family? And that is a balance that, especially with the grandson and family and close friends, you know what I mean,
Okay.
that I want to get back focused on, or not have sacrificed, right? And then professional, I have my list of clubs, networking groups, and committees. And then I have home, like a home one, to establish my landscaping. I planted it all last year. So at this point, I don't have what's that? The thing that waters. I don't have one of those irrigation.
Yeah.
I am the irrigation this year. So I know that sounds funny, but in the summer, that's like a daily or every other day thing when you're establishing expensive plants. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And then I'm in the middle of a kitchen and bath renovation, not by choice. So
We
they
had
need
that.
to be done, and
Did you
then
use Simplify?
right. And then I have my health. I just got the checked in. I had an ankle reconstruction last year, Marie. That's what happened. And it is not feeling any better. So I just had a doctor's appointment Monday that they're going to remove the hardware, which freaks me out. Okay. None of it sounds good. I just wanted a new one. Just it's replacement time. Apparently not yet.
Well, good luck
And then
with
I
that.
have my Pilates. I shoot for 4 to 5 a week, and then a lifetime for cardio, like 3 a week. So
It's awesome.
that's fine.
Good for you. Well, let me know if you need any help on sort of that the legislative or advocacy front. Thank you for being involved. So in our county we have seven council districts. In the state we have 47 legislative districts, and then federally we have 8 districts. We're in District 5. I think you're probably in District 5 county council wise, and District 3 on the federal level. But yeah, I'm involved in a lot of that. I'm giving testimony next Tuesday at the county council meeting. I was really bummed that we didn't have lobby day on the state level
I know.
week.
I was
Very,
heartbroken. And all
very,
my friends were heartbroken for me because they all knew how
yeah,
exciting it
yeah,
was.
yeah. That was a big bummer. But and then we have a Hill visit in June, so I'm excited about all of those. But whatever I can do to help your journey on that,
Well,
let me
yeah,
know.
just keep me posted, even if I can just be in the background learning, Greg, because
Yeah,
it is something that I have a great interest in. And I really feel that as it's a value add for me, for my clients. I think
absolutely.
that there's things that people have seen have happened or are happening, and the public is not aware of how to follow,
Yeah,
or aware of, here, just get on this auto alert. What region are you?
right.
What,
Yeah,
so I think that, and also for all of us, our industry has taken a hit this past year and being questioned as far as what do we do?
yeah,
You know what I mean? And this is not this is where, as far as the our associations, I don't feel that they're sharing that enough. You know what I mean? Like, I see advertisements for things. Well, let's start showing what they are doing and why.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I think there is not a more fair industry than ours, as far as, we're not here for anyone in particular. We're here for the industry,
yeah,
no matter who,
yeah.
right?
And let me play devil's advocate a little bit on that and put it back on us too, because we are the association. It's made up of members, right? Like, we got to do a better job of telling our story. And I've tried to do that on, like, my social medias, like, tell people what I'm advocating for and what I'm advocating against, and let them know that I'm involved on a local, statewide, federal level on a lot of these things, so that hopefully they see through my actions, you know, the value that we bring to the consumer and what we're doing. But we've got to tell our own stories, and we got to toot our own horn, so to speak, when it comes to that. Let people know, we are more than just opening up doors. There's a lot
Right.
to our industry that goes in, and a lot that we offer.
Well, that's one of the things I love about the new NAR rule and how it's been implemented in our state in particular, because I always cringed when realtors would say, "Oh, I got a phone call and this person wants to go and have me show them this house," and then they never see or hear from that person again because they're just using you. And so that has really helped, that you have to establish a relationship and say, look, this is a professional. And
Yep.
another pet peeve of mine, and maybe I concentrate on this a little bit too much, is I really don't want to use the word commission. I will
Yeah.
use professional compensation, my broker's compensation. We have to lean into the brokerage. We have to let people know we're not just a standalone real estate agent. We have professionals standing behind us. We have a brick and mortar. You can come to the office. And it's, the brokerage gets their professional fee, and then we are paid out of that fee. And a lot of people don't realize that, and I think that we need to build up the relationship of the brokerage, and how we relate to the brokerage and how that benefits the client too.
I will
Yeah.
say, one of my Greg, I know that I help people come here because when they call me or they reach out and ask, I had made the decision to come to JPAR because of the business model. A flat fee, always have been. Once you go flat, you don't go back. Uh,
I liked it.
and also then the KV Core, for the value add, if you really get that thing plugged in, and even a fraction of its capability for what it offers. In fact, that's why I left my other one, because they had it and tried to replace it with some. But anyway, to be able to go next level and say, I'm with JPAR, my broker is the president of the association. My broker is the committee leader. Like, I love saying that. And when I'm sharing with people why I'm here, that was a value add. I was already sold. Do you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
was already on board with JPAR, that for what we pay, This is the quality in leadership and example and knowledge. And he's got a partner, so hopefully they don't burn out.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, we're here for you. We're in business with you and your business partner. So whatever we can do to help, for sure. And then speaking of that, I'll finish up my notes here on the benefit of accountability partners. I put in there increases commitment and follow through, knowing you have to report back, provides honest feedback and perspective. So that's really important too. Like when you have an accountability partner, someone that's going to be honest with you and provide you with constructive criticism or real feedback and perspective.
Or support. Marie, since we've been doing this thing together, if when we're done, I'd be very interested in becoming accountability partners.
Yeah, let's talk.
Absolutely.
You guys,
That's
All
awesome.
right, done. Sorry.
I'm just going to interject. One of the most important things that an accountability partner can do for you is knowing that you have to report, but also not listening to your bullshit. So writing down every week when you talk to each other, like, these are the goals I did, right? That's what we always do. We say, oh, this is all I got done. But going back and saying, I didn't do this and this is why. You know, I didn't do this because the snow. I didn't do that and I had to stay home with the kids or whatever it is, but write the entire excuse out, you know, kind of gives you that focus of, oh crap, why did I let that dumb idea, you know, thing sidetrack my week?
Yeah. So we real quick, I'll share a story. We used to have this. So I'll give you the Marine Corps version of accountability, and it might not be the most politically correct, but when we would have to report in if we didn't do something right. I remember we had this gunnery sergeant who said, all right, you were given an objective and a goal and you didn't do it. So either two things happen. One, you don't give a shit about the order and what you were told, or two, you were too stupid to get it done. So which is it? And it really made you realize that, you know, it's, you either have excuses or you execute. And like, if you didn't do something, it was because it wasn't important to you, or you were probably too stupid to figure out how to get it done. And,
Sometimes political correctness isn't the best thing.
Yeah. So it is important. Like when you have to be real with yourself. And that's like Jessica was saying, you have to give the real perspective. Like, you know, your goal has to be bigger than your comfort zone. Right. And then if you're not doing things that you've outlined for your accountability, it must not be must not be that important to you. Right. Because we know it's not that you're too stupid to do it. It's just like maybe this goal is not as important as I want it to be, or I think it should be, or I'd be getting it done.
Right.
So.
And don't give yourself 10 goals. You're never going to get 10 goals done.
Right.
You need 3 big goals for the year, 3 for the month, 3 for the week.
Oh, I like that.
We talked about that earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, 333. I like that.
I think I stole that from Greg last year.
Yeah. You get, and then creating that cadence of accountability. It's got to be, you know, you have to do it and stay on task, time on task. And my last one, you kind of beat me to it, Jeannie, a little bit, but challenge for the group, find an accountability partner, whether within the book club or not, and then set up a weekly 10-minute check-in to keep each other on track. So it's good stuff. I've got one little quick video I'm going to play us out with here. It's like a minute. And then let me see here. Let me share that.
A lot of people have dreams, but they got no projects, so they got no chance of fulfilling those dreams. Like, you got to take a dream and then bust it down into projects. If you're not aware of that, what you are doing, even if you're good, is you are winging it. And if you are winging it, you will never reach mastery in your life. For me, there's about 3 blocks every day where the magic happens. Move my life forward. And the only way you know if you're doing actually block time is if you opened your calendar right now and this next week had blocks of time protected for the strategic actions you must take to move your projects forward.
Sometimes we think our problem is self-discipline, or we think our problem is focus or mindset. And the truth is, we just have a bad system for organizing our mind and our day. Just going through a few of these sections for my mindset, my goals, my priorities, my morning self-talk, and the things that I have to do each day has changed my life. All of this on a front and back page. You can get it right now. Download it for free by clicking the link in this post right now.
All right. Well, I love that so much. You could hear that, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, Brendan Bouchard. Yeah, the little rule of 3 in there as well. But being strategic about that time blocking is paramount to your success. So, anything else? Anybody have anything else before we wrap up here?
My Calendly link in the chat.
I'm sorry?
I put my Calendly link in the chat. So if you want to pick a day, take a look at the schedule, and then
Okay.
okay.
I'll cool. I'll make sure I send that to you guys too via email. But awesome. Well, thank you guys very much. So next week's our conclusion.
So
Marie?
Greg,
Yeah.
not to be rude, but real quick, but I have one of those sheets.
Oh yeah. Wow. Look at you. That's awesome.
It's a dry eraser.
Very cool. I love that. Good
It's
for
got
you.
2 sides. One is for because I noticed that certain days were similar. I don't know how to put it, like, but and then one is a monthly and quarterly.
Very cool. It's you. You're going to be our poster person for success. You're implementing
Well,
all the
I'm just
tools.
Jeannie. Now I'm not going to burn no more because that family's coming in strong.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, good stuff, everybody. So next week we kind of wrap it up. Marie, hopefully you've got a few goals lined up for next week, and you guys are able to start implementing some strategic actions. And hopefully this is helpful.
Maybe we'll really impress you, and we'll have had a meeting, Marie and I. That'll be one of our goals. We're done.
Awesome. Well,
All right,
thanks,
Greg, thank you
guys.
for your time.
Yep, you're welcome. I'll shoot out an email recap, but thank you guys very much. Have a great day.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.